but I don't know what they're going to do for Thanksgiving. Well, my wife got so upset knowing that these students.
That's David. He's a former Associate Director of International Affairs at Marywood University. Here is how his wife's frustration created new traditions and united a community on campus. Let's go beyond the brochure.
That's awesome. Now, how was the experience bringing students to your house for Thanksgiving?
I happened to come home and I mentioned to my wife, I said something about the international students. I said something like, the campus is closed and that these students, because the break is only like 4 days long, 5 days long. And obviously somebody from China is not going to go home, for 4 days. I said, I got to find out how to get them food. What are they going to do? They can stay on campus. They might have to pay extra. But I don't know what they're going to do for Thanksgiving. Well, my wife got so upset knowing that these students were going to be spending Thanksgiving with like no food on campus. She said, no, they're not. She said, you bring them to home. And I said, okay. So I invited them home. Now, my wife cooks a big Thanksgiving dinner, and my family, my parents, everything come over to my house. So this was in Pennsylvania. And that first year, I had all these international, from China and Indonesia, and all these students at my house. And it was the neatest thing, and they're taking pictures, and some of them never seen a turkey before. And my mom just thought it was the neatest thing, having these students from all around the world, and it was so neat. So that started a tradition. So it got to the point where my wife was literally cooking 2 turkeys because we didn't have, enough food every Thanksgiving. And then she was cooking challah food, and then she would make special exceptions for some of these, for our Saudi students. And then, so after a while, and this is what I became really proud of, is after a while, I started thinking, okay, these students are coming to the house, which was truly a blessing. What I started to do is I started talking to our domestic students at freshman orientation. So we would have a study abroad fair, and I'd talk to some. So I tell these students, I'd ask them, who lives far away? So if I were in Pennsylvania, somebody would say, maybe I live up in Maine. I said, I want you to think about it. God forbid, I said, if you have a pet or something at home, or grandma gets sick, I said, what are you going to do? Probably, I'm going to go home. Right. I said, if there's a student from China sitting next to you and the same thing happens, what do you think he or she's going to do? I said, nothing. I said, they're going to stay here. I said, they can't just hop on a plane and go home unless it's something real. I said, I want you to think about that for a moment. So I would do this. I'd start to educate our domestic students from freshmen as soon as they're on. By the time I left that school for the last Thanksgiving, I didn't have a single international student at my house. The reason why is because by the time I kept doing that and educating the students, the domestic students, they literally invited every international student home for Thanksgiving. It got to the point where all my domestic students would start inviting these international students. So by that time, Thanksgiving, the last time that I was there, they invited. I recruited 2 students out of Indonesia, two sisters, and they went to 2 different homes.
Wow.
That Thanksgiving. So it was bittersweet. We sat there. My mom was really upset because there was no international students at our house, but it was really a unique situation that, I embedded this in the domestic students' heads so much that they embraced all of our international students to make sure that nobody was home alone. And it was really that, again, it's a teaching moment to really tell these students, you got to understand what's happening here with, and it was a blessing. It was awesome.